2003 Ford F-150. I'm going to go ahead and remove the factory radio and install a doubled in-dash radio in its place, which will require some light modification in the inside of the cavity of the dashboard. I'll show you right now how to remove this. It's just this bezel that usually snaps off, and you will also be needing some Ford keys to insert in here and in these two holes also as well, which would be some Ford keys that look like this. So I've already snapped off the dash just to make it simpler while I'm filming. So this is how it comes off. You will have a plug that's usually plugged in here. This is pretty much not plugged into anything in theory. There's no switch or anything there. It's just, I guess, pre-wired for something in there. And then one thing, when you insert these keys on the Ford radios, you don't have to push them all the way in. Slowly move them in and you'll feel a click right there. This one I already inserted. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull it to the right a little bit and this one to the left a little bit, both of them at the same time. And as you're doing that, you're releasing the radio. They have some springs on the side, some actual metal brackets that kind of spring open, and by you doing that at the same time, you're going to slide it out and the radio is going to come out, and then you just do the normal, unplug it. I already have the radio loose, so I'm just going to unplug it, disconnect it. And also, just to let you know, this 03 was not designed for a doubled in radio to fit properly in there. So this truck's going to require some modification, which is actually cutting up here, opening up the hole a little bit larger and a little bit fouling at the bottom. And then the actual kit that this customer bought, it's like a little trim cosmetic kit just to go in front of the new doubled in radio, which I'll show you later in my video. This is the dash kit that is actually for this 2003 F-150. These brackets actually bolt on to the side here of the radio. Same thing with the right one. It'll bolt on here. So pretty much after the hole is cut out for this specific radio, this radio would pressure fit into the dashboard. And then one of these trim bezels you're going to use for cosmetic purposes before you snap the bezel back over the radio. So this will be in the background of the bezel, so it'll give it the nice custom look. But it does require some modifications, and usually you can use the manual that it comes with, and it'll explain to you step by step on what areas of the dashboard you have to cut open. It actually shows you the first step of removing the radio, and what to take off after, and what to cut open step by step. So I'm going to go ahead and start that up with the dashboard. So I'm back inside the truck. I'm showing you the original cavity. I haven't done any modification yet to it. Just wanted to use this as a reference because it's going to go in here, the first two screws on top of the climate controls, and then you can see how much about you have to cut from the top and also a little from the bottom. There's a picture, like I showed you before, from the owner's manual of the dash kit, where it shows you that you have to do some cutting. Some of these trucks also have like some plastic that goes down back here, and then you have to cut it open like from the top all the way across. This one, it looks like I'm just gonna have to cut from here, this lip, and then I usually file down the bottom until I get this kit to fit in properly, and then I'm done from there. And of course the wire harness, I already sold them, and I'll be plugging in the wire harness after I wire it up on the workbench. The inside cavity, which is this, I've already outlined it to Sharpie how much of it I have to grind down. And then here too, I just got my file and started flattening it out, because there's like a little rib right here, little edge that's raised a little bit, so I'm making it flush with the rest of the dash right here with the file. But this, I'm going to end up cutting it with a little air saw. I'm going to cut it across and then file it down until I make it nice and even, and that'll be it. This is the dash that I've been working on to fit the doubled in, which I already filed down here, and I opened up just about 1/4 of an inch up here, maybe less. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably less than 1/4 inch. I removed the remove the bolts holding the climate controls, just so I won't end up scratching this while I'm filing the top. So I just removed it, put it down a little bit, and then went away and started filing away with my file. Got it all flush. So I'm gonna get ready to wire up the harness. So I got the Metra wire harness and I got the Sony one. As you can see, most of the colors are gonna match. So you just start tying in both the matching colors to each end, and what I'm using is crimp caps. The remainder of the wires that don't get used either from here or from here, tape them off. Don't leave them bare there hanging on the back, because it can create some type of short, because some of these wires have power either with the ignition on or with the illumination, parking lights on, or the headlights. So make sure you just match color per color. I got the wire harness all crimped, nicely zip tied, so we can get all the wires together. Now I'm going to go into the truck and start mounting and wiring up the antenna for the satellite radio, and I'll show you guys where I'll place the antenna on in a second. You guys see the antenna up there? What's magnetic? I stuck it up there and I routed the wire underneath this rubber seal. It just lifts up, it just tucked it away, and into that, underneath that rubber seal right there, you'll see a little pinch of the antenna right there coming out of there, and then underneath this from the inside, of course, and tucked it all the way in there. Right now I'm routing it through the inside of the glove box. Of course, from underneath the dashboard, it's going to loop in there and go back to the dash where the tuner is going to be mounted at. So I finished putting the satellite tuner back there, plugged it in, plugged in the radio, and you can see the brackets that are already put on there, which is part of the kit. And all I'm going to do is push the radio back in there, and you're going to hear it snap. There it goes. So all I do now is put the little trim bezel around it and bolt it onto those 2 screws, and then snap the dash back, and we're done. Alright, I snapped in the radio. I put the trim bezel around, screwed it up to those 2 screws. Seems to me like it fit in well, better than other occasions when I've had other trucks of the similar year. This one actually, I took my time on it and it fit really well. So now I'm just going to put the radio dash bezel over it, and we're done. And that is it, guys. After I snapped in the dash bezel, this is what the radio looks like. This is the trim plate that's back there, and the dash back on together. Already tested it out, it works. Alright guys, good luck. If you guys have the same vehicle and are doing something similar to it, here's a video that'll help you out. Thanks again for watching.